All right, folks, good morning. Welcome back to Coffee Time with Almeida. This is Monday. Yes, we are on week 4 of Coffee Time. Holy crap. We already got 15 episodes done, and now we're working on episode 16 here. And we have emergency room registered nurse Susan Brady joining us today. Susan, welcome to Coffee Time.
Hi. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing amazing. How are you?
Glad to be had.
Oh my God, I'm glad you're here with us. I just want to say thanks for doing what you do, dude.
Yeah, no, thanks for doing what you're doing. It's like making our days better,
I mean, you know,
good content.
Thank you. So I feel like I'm just staying at home and doing the show. So you're actually out there doing the thing and protecting the people, right? So
yeah.
But I do want to show you something that I made because I was out running errands the other day and I forgot a face mask.
That's like, don't you feel so naked?
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the guy with no face mask right now. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm an asshole. So then I was like, but I do have, and like I would, my normal things, I go to like a bar rag and I like tie that around my face. But I'm like, but I do have a diaper bag in the car. And I do have some string. So I made this little guy. I made this little guy right here.
Shut up.
And it has panda bears on it. Good morning, Jason. Good morning, Jeff. If I say good morning to people, it's because they're popping up on the saying hi to us. So here we go. You ready? Ready?
That's hilarious.
And then it ties in the back, and then I have a diaper face mask.
That's awesome.
I mean, and then it keeps the poo in. It's got to be pretty good. Like, I mean, this thing's got to
it keeps the poo in.
It keeps the poo in. I mean,
hey, yeah, as long as it's keeping your saliva out, that's good. Perfect. Whatever works.
And then it's like I don't know. I mean, I'd rather have something than nothing. I mean.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know there are definitely people that are just like going all renegade and stuff and like not wearing anything. Like I was at I had to get light bulbs the other day and I was at Lowe's and they've got the signs on the floor that say like 6 feet apart. And these two guys, they were getting something like toilet stuff. But and they're like literally creeping up on this guy that's like totally masked and everything. And I like almost said something and I'm like, just fight your own battles, because it was just ridiculous. Like they would totally creep it up on him. And I'm like, you guys are so rude.
So I've had experience in Stop and Shop. Now I'm going to Stop and Shop like as early as I can go without being a senior.
Yeah.
I've actually been thinking about dressing up like a senior. Because I can't take it, dude. Like I'm in Stop and Shop and like the same shit. Everybody's like, most people are respectful of other people's distance,
Yeah.
And then a lot of other people are just like not wearing masks. I saw some dude eating a candy bar the other day, talking on his phone and like having full blown out conversations with other people in Stop and Shop. And like, I just want to be like, go up to them and slap them upside the head.
I know. No, you seriously do.
I'm like, I'm going to get a fight.
We see the people that come in and you're like, I don't know. You almost want to be like, this is how it's contracted. Like this, like you're all doing this. That's totally like in the face of what I'm doing. It's just so frustrating.
So what are your feelings on social distancing?
So 100%, it works. Wear a mask, wash your hands, etc. They need to do it for longer. They need to, I'm just like really worried about this summer, what's going to happen, because I think that like as Americans, we're just too fidgety and we're too in our own heads. So I think a lot of people, as they're showing now, I mean, we're still in the thick of it. And people are just like, who cares? I'm still going to do what I need to do. So I have a feeling that there will be like a blip of where it increases. But I was, I'm reading studies and such all the time. So everyone's saying, oh, it's probably going to go away with the warm weather. But it was down in New Orleans. It survived in New Orleans.
It's in Florida.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't understand like where people think this is going to end. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get in my own head and like get so worried and think this is like, a dystopian society now. But, you kind of have those thoughts at times.
Some people are like, oh, it's just like the flu, or like it's not, or just claiming that it's just as contagious than the flu. As far as, and from everything, I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but everything that I've read so far is like, this is definitely a lot more contagious than the flu.
It's more contagious than the flu. And it's like the craziest thing now is that it's totally evolving, because the symptoms we had initially heard were fever, cough, and like shortness of breath. And then those quickly went into nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, which went into conjunctivitis. Now it's headaches. Now I'm reading that young people are having strokes, so they think that it might have some sort of blood association. Maybe, like I read an article from this doctor saying that he was performing a thrombectomy and he could literally see blood clotting right around the clot that he was taking out. And he's like, I've never seen anything like that before. So who's to even say, how this is actually originating, but what's the cause of it? How's it happening and how's it developing? And, we're only going to find out, unfortunately.
So someone's asking a question from COVID related deaths. What do the autopsies show? But you probably won't know that, would you?
So I know though that they, this was a while ago, a couple weeks ago that I read about this. They were saying that they opened up the chest and they found like this white sticky substance in the lungs, where it was much thicker than, say, like the fluid from flu, not so much from flu, but like influenza. And I guess that was really the hard time in the alveoli, that they were having. If there's like a sticky substance, then there's no gas exchange, and that's the whole reason why people are having a hard time breathing. I'm not sure now what's happening, and what other studies or things have happened from autopsies. But as I had said, though, they were saying that there's people are having strokes. So they're thinking that there might be a link, but even who knows to what's happened with this, though, because there some young people, 40s to 50s, 30s to 40s to 50s, are having strokes and they're COVID positive and they have absolutely no other health issues. And so they're thinking maybe that there's some sort of correlation.
Have they been finding blood type specific issues?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, because I had heard that going around for a minute. That like, if you have AB positive, you're super screwed. If you have O, you're cool. I mean, I have asthma, which is like it's pretty good in check right now. It's like it's not bothering me. I'm taking,
thank God, right?
And then I have like I have a pericarditis, which is an inflammation of the sac around the heart.
Yeah.
You saw me for that one.
Yeah. And that's legit too. That's like really, really legit. So I mean, you definitely have to watch out. So it's a good thing that you're staying home.
Yeah, and like my parents are like in their 60s, but my mom has diabetes and she has high blood pressure, and my dad has high blood pressure. So it's like these are all at high risk people. So have folks being like, oh, let's reopen the economy, and like only a certain amount of people are going to die, but like who's going to die? And they're saying like, oh, it's not as it's just like the flu. People, it still blows my mind that people are just like, oh, it's just as contagious as the flu, or
and those are the people that aren't reading about things. They're just, I mean, it's. I don't know. I don't want to be so harsh as to say that they're ignorant, but I mean, that word is apropos because they don't know. They're just, I think that some people listen to snippets on the radio initially and then they just stuck and that's kind of what they're going with. And that's exactly what people had said was, I think because it was a respiratory ailment, that it was similar to the flu. It's going to be seasonal. We know about this, but as I had said, it has just progressed so fast and so quick and developed on changed itself that it's like you can't define it anymore.
Well, it's evolving, like you said, right?
Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy. I mean, how many people are going to be writing books and directing movies about this? I mean, they had the books like the the movie Contagion and such, but I'm just curious to see how many creative people kind of develop storylines similar to this.
I feel like the movies were preparing us for this. Right?
Yeah.
like you said, like Contagion and like Outbreak and these other movies.
Yeah.
And now it's like just real life. It's fucking crazy. So
I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's true.
It's nuts, and it's just like, did you ever think that we'd be a day where it'd be like, okay, guys, we can't leave our houses? Probably not, right?
Yeah.
I have Jason Trenholm saying, my girlfriend is type 1 diabetic. And we keep hearing a lot of things about how diabetics are 8 times more susceptible to complications. Do you think that's true, or at least that number?
I don't necessarily know about the number. That's just because I haven't read specific information about that number. I do know, though, that diabetics are more at risk, I think, because it's the vasculature, I believe, but don't quote me on that. I know like they've got vasculature issues from stemming from the diabetes, so I really can't speak to specifics about why diabetics are more prone or have higher risk.
They don't really heal as quickly either too, right? So
yeah, no, exactly. But I think that it's more to do with the vasculature. I think like from what I've been reading, they're saying that there's more of a blood component to it, but who even knows? No one's done any study. These are from doctors that I think are just saying things. They're starting to do studies now, which I think is pretty interesting. Brigham and Women's is actually doing studies. There was a really good article in New York Magazine saying like, do we even know what's like what this is, like, and we really don't. But they were quoting a lot of studies that were from Brigham and Women's Hospital, which my friend actually works at Brigham. She's actually in critical care, and she's just like, it's crazy, you know. And I do know that a lot of the hospitals, believe it or not, so I mean, Massachusetts was a hot spot, but I believe we actually have done a really good job, believe it or not. I feel like this could have gotten 10 times worse. I feel like it could have gotten similar to New York or similar to Washington. But I think because a lot of people just kind of stayed away, and but I mean, we could still develop hotspots. Like, look at Chelsea out of nowhere. We were doing good, and then Chelsea like totally inflamed. And so I think that that still could happen down the line. There could still be blips, you know.
Well, I heard that the Plymouth waterfront was packed the other day.
Yeah, exactly. I know. It's crazy. I mean, it's just crazy.
You
I think
know.
people are going stir crazy, honestly, with this weather.
Oh, hell yeah. I mean, well, this is not good weather for a quarantine, right? Like, I mean, you
Right.
can't even really go in your backyard right now if you have a
I know.
backyard.
Yeah.
I was raking outside in the rain yesterday because I'm like, fuck it. I'm going out in the rain.
Gotta get outside,
I'm
dude.
going outside. I'm doing shit in the rain. It's going to be okay. You know, farmers
Yeah.
do it every day.
Yeah. The other day I was like gown, glove, mask, everything, you know, for like a long, long time. We actually had, we had someone in respiratory distress, and it was just really sad because, you know, he's like, I don't want to be intubated. He's like just petrified because, and then he literally said, I don't want to die. And it's so frightening because then you're like, sorry, we have to intubate you. Like, you will die if you don't get intubated, you know. It's just very frightening. But then after that, like, you have to take some, when people say you have to take some self time, I walked outside and I think it was like 45 degrees out, and I sat in the cold, and it was just glorious. I took everything off, and I was like, this cold, brisk air going into my lungs feels fantastic, you know?
Yeah, because you're like in the hospital all day and you're just breathing that probably recycled air pretty much, right? And
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
I mean, it's clean, but
yeah, but I mean, how clean is anything anymore? You know?
What you got in that cup?
Morning coffee,
Oh.
aka rosé.
Oh yeah. All right. Day off.
Now, mind you,
Woo-hoo.
to anybody that watches this, I work different hours. I work nights, so this is like my evening time.
Did you work last night?
No.
You got a couple days off, right? Everybody needs a couple days off.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is like my second day. I think I slept mostly all day yesterday, so I have like weird hours. I was up at 4, and then I took like another like hour and a half nap, I think, and then I woke up. So
I was up at 4:30. Baby.
were you?
Baby's crying.
Oh, really?
Baby wants a bottle at 4:30 in the morning. I'm like, all right, it's my turn.
Hey.
It's my turn.
Yeah, exactly. So did you have a bottle with your baby?
We watched a little TV, you know. I was like really tempted to stay awake though, because I was like, I get up at 6:30 anyways. I'm like, by the time I went back to bed, it's 5
Yeah.
already. I'm like, but like, you know, I probably should just make myself sleep for another hour.
That is my dilemma every single day at work. Like, I wake up, you know, after say 4 hours of sleep if I'm working the night shift, and it's like, you know, 3:30 p.m. and I work at 7. I'm like, should I just try and go back to sleep, or should I just say like, you know, fuck it and stay awake?
So let's talk about you. You have friends that work all over the place, right? You're
Yeah.
in touch with medical professionals spread
Yeah.
out, right?
Yeah. So I talked to one of the docs I work with. Actually, two of the docs I work with went to Washington, and they were saying how I just like touch base with them, saying hi, hey, how is it going? I know that, you know, saying that it was a hot spot. One of the docs was saying that she was south of it. They were still seeing different cases, but that was like initially when it hit Washington, and it's like anything. There's a ripple effect. We didn't see anything in Plymouth forever, and then now we're definitely seeing it. Like, you know, you could just see the census rising. At one point at night, we'd only have 10 patients, and then it was 20, and now we're up to 35. Whereas we're like a 40-bed unit, and it can go. I mean, I've had 70 people on the tracker, but they out in Washington, she was saying that she was okay, but as I had said, this was like at least a month ago. And she was saying, though, this was interesting. She talked with our other doctor friend that was in the thick of things. And he was saying one of their big things also is that they're running low on blood supplies because no one's going out to donate. So recently I've heard people, the more advertised, saying like, hey, you know, don't forget to donate blood. I know my mother, she's 71 years old. Hold on, she's 70 years old. She'll kill me. But she's 70 years old, and she gives blood all the time. And she was saying, I don't know, I think if I'm like really careful, I'll go in. And I'm like, no, like, you need to abort. You can't go in. Someone else, a younger, like, healthy person. My mother's very healthy, but a younger healthy person needs to go in. You know, I wouldn't worry so much about it. but that is like a new need, you know, and that's what's going to happen. Just things down the road are going to, you know, it's like secondary needs are going to kind of sprout up.
How is the PPE supply getting any better?
No, it's supposedly getting better. Purportedly, it's getting better. So I have two N95 masks, which aren't even N95s. They're a level below.
Oh,
They're the
geez.
duck-billed masks. Yeah, they're level 3. Um, Recently, I think maybe a week and a half ago, we got our second one. And so, that's tough. We do have the gowns. We've got plenty of the gowns. They had, masks that they were providing us. We get one mask and we clean it, but actually a lot of us just bought on our own, like Walder's masks, which are actually fantastic because then you can like take the visor up and down, which is great. Whereas the other mask you'd have to take off and put down like some random counter or wherever, and you didn't know what it was getting exposed to. But the welders masks are great, and I know that one of my friends had gone to a facility and excuse me, a store, and they were sold out, so she had to get them online. So
Oh, that's okay. That's interesting.
yeah, and there was a price increase, so it's usually like 25 bucks, we paid like 41 for them.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's just like you're protecting you, right? So
Oh god, yeah.
yeah. Are you guys all paranoid?
Um, so from the beginning, I wasn't like, if I get it, I was like, when I get it. Everyone was paranoid. Everyone in the public was talking about it nonstop, as were health professionals, like nonstop. I'm sure you probably talked to your wife a million times about it. You know, I know that throughout it just like ran through everybody. I mean, it's like a it's affecting everyone. Especially, I feel bad because especially people with kids, because you know they were saying initially that the kids weren't getting affected by it, but then you know some kids were. So it's just you know you got to watch out for your kids first of all.
So like back in like late February, it might have been, Beckett had 104-degree fever
Yeah,
for like 3 days, 3 or 4 days. And like, we were freaking out. And this is before COVID. Like they're like,
yeah,
oh, it's the flu, and we're just monitoring him all the time. They're like, if it gets above 104, we bring him to emergency room.
yeah.
107, sorry, it says 107, but it was
Oh
just
yeah,
scary,
107 is legit. Oh
it's just
god,
like
yeah,
scary. And it's like I can only imagine, like I know that when I go to Stop and Shop right now, that I am like, first of all, I used to go to Stop and Shop like twice a day, and I joke not. And I'm like, oh, I need this on my way to work, and then I need this on my way home. I'm
yeah,
like, what am I making for breakfast tomorrow or dinner or whatever?
yeah,
That's how I operate, And now it's just like I go super early whenever I can,
yeah.
once a week, and I'm in and out, and I pretty much have a list, but I don't even want to do that anymore.
No, I know it's
Y-
crazy.
and like I don't even go to any drive-throughs anymore. Like like I'm like off Dunkin' Donuts coffee probably for the rest of my life. Sorry, Dunkin' Donuts.
I will say this though, I feel like they're wearing masks more, whereas when this all originally started, it really started hitting this place. No one was wearing masks. I went to BJ's because I hadn't gone out of my house for weeks, and then I'm like, okay, I really do need toilet paper. I really do need some things. I went to BJ's and I went to the deli counter and I grabbed a ticket and I look up and there's three people working the deli counter. Two have masks and one didn't. And I'm like, oh man, I guarantee I get the guy that doesn't have a mask. And so I was like, I crumpled up my ticket and I put it in that little tiny, their little receptacle over the counter. I was like, yeah, peace out, man. I'm not dealing with that. I don't
Yeah,
want some
well,
guy that's like breathing all over my cold cuts.
yeah, and like you should know, like you're in it. So I have a question from Jason Trenholm. He said, "Is it required by your hospital to be fit tested to wear your N95?" My company does.
So yes, and I'll tell you that was a huge issue. Actually, I had a huge issue. So we're required every year. Everybody in the hospital is required every year to be fit tested for an N95, which are supplied through the hospital. Um, so I got fit tested every year. I got lax, and I let a year lapse. Now, mind you, I say that because I have so many different thoughts about this. Um, so the N95, we get fit tested, and then you put it in your locker. And who's to say if it doesn't get misshapen because it's in your literally my shoebox of a locker that I shove it into. So we get fit tested in it. I've been a nurse for 15 years. I've never ever failed my fit test. So I know how to fit my mask to my face. So that being said, I felt comfortable. I felt comfortable not getting fit tested for 1 year because I mean, I've never ever failed, as I had said. So if need be, if we had any patients with particular, like, um, with potential tuberculosis, because that was originally the whole reason one would need to be fit tested, is for an airborne illness like tuberculosis, which is very, very, very rare. So we get fit tested, and a whole slew of people are getting fit tested. They don't have N95s. They don't have the blue ones that I'd always been fit tested for. They said, oh, give her this white one, which was humongous. And I felt like this crazy burn down my chest. And I'm like, well, I'm just letting you know, it doesn't, I've never felt that in all the years I've been fit tested. So this is different. I'm like, I don't feel comfortable. And they're like, well, we don't have any masks, so we're sorry. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it's just, and I said to her, I'm like, I don't want to get tuberculosis. I don't, and this was originally when they were saying it wasn't, originally they said that it was droplet. Then they said that it was airborne, which airborne is like tuberculosis, which unless you've got, you're properly fitted and you've got negative pressure room where they suck the air out, you could potentially get it. So that's the reason why tuberculosis was so virulent and so many people had passed away from tuberculosis. They started saying, oh, it could be an airborne illness. So when so many of these healthcare professionals that are like, are you kidding me? We're not even getting the right size protection, and then yet you're asking us to go into all these people's room, like multiple people, and so you're just like essentially throwing us to the wolves. It was very, very upsetting. So many people were ripped, and then you just did the best you could. A lot of people were wearing the N95s or what they had given us, with plus other masks over, just to kind of be more protective. And then that's when everyone started wearing the shields. There was so many different changing requirements. Literally, we get an email every single day that shows something totally different from the prior day about what they want. And then I don't mean to be paranoid, but when the CDC originally had said, oh, it's okay, we got like an email saying, oh, it's okay, we can wear those masks. And you thought to yourself, is it okay for the disease, or is it okay because we don't have enough supply? Like, what are they telling us? Is this propaganda? Like, what's happening?
It's okay because they don't have enough to give you.
That's what I'm saying.
If it wasn't okay before, then why is it okay now?
That's exactly what I'm saying. All of a sudden you're saying it's airborne, then you're saying it's not airborne. Is it because we don't have enough, protective equipment, or is it because you're just like afraid?
Oh man. So it just seems like very, very stressful. I don't know if I could, you chose to do the nursing job, right? But you didn't choose to not be equipped with all the stuff that you need to do your job.
That's exactly right. But I'll tell you this though, everyone still will. The other day I had, I just got reported on my assignment. I said, oh, I forgot my mask. I had my surgical mask on. I said, oh, I forgot my welder's mask. So I started walking out, and they tell us in all the videos, even if someone codes, you need to have the right stuff on. Like, the code can wait 30 seconds for you to gown, glove, mask, everything, to have the right equipment on. But that being said, I was walking to my locker to get this, and my 84-year-old little Nana that I just got reported on that has COVID is in the doorway, and all her tubes are like, all her equipment's literally taut to the wall, and she's probably gonna fall. And I'm like, do I grab her? Like, or do I quick get my mask? And like, you can't tell any nurse. Everyone, like, people in my family will like, let her fall. But I'm like, you can't do that. Like, I just like literally was like, okay, little lady, let's get back to bed. And I'm like, I could potentially get COVID because this lady, but no way on earth could I let her like literally fall right in front of my face without doing anything,
Yeah. Well, it's a choice you make, right? And
yeah,
can't be an easy one. So what do you think the future looks like of what you do?
Oh God, who knows? I honestly don't know. It's, too many changes are happening. I'm hoping it's going to be like the flu. I'm hoping a vaccine develops. I'm hoping people take this seriously. I'm hoping I can go somewhere for the summer and hang out. Who knows though? I don't know.
I was like, the only one thing I want to do all summer is go to Storyland with my children.
That's awesome. The only thing
Otherwise,
I want to do is, I just want to go to TJ Maxx, and that's how all my nursing friends feel.
TJ Maxx is not essential.
Listen, some of the stores that are essential are ridiculous. That's a whole nother topic.
I went by Big Lots is open the other day. Big Lots
I saw that.
I saw that.
I was like, listen, I was pretty excited though. I haven't gone, but I'm like, oh, I might venture out, man. That place is awesome. Because honestly, they do have a lot of stuff though that I could like definitely use, But
so have you been getting to go food like from spots?
So a lot of people have donated food to us, which is fantastic because I don't go out. Um, so when they donate food and I almost say, "Well, who made this? I don't know. Should I question it?" And I say, "Whatever. I don't really care." I mean, I care, but I don't care. You when you don't make food, like I'm not a. I actually am a foodie. I like different foods. I like to buy different good foods. I don't necessarily like to make different good foods. So I don't really care to go out. I'm pretty basic with what I eat. But when people donate food, it's like fantastic. And I know I do feel actually better about the food because I do know that people are wearing masks and gloves and such.
Yeah, so I mean, um, we're getting ready to reopen the Tasty for to go.
Really? Oh, good, good.
Yeah,
How do you feel?
so I mean, I'm gonna be like much more behind the scenes,
Yeah.
because I'm not a chef, so um, and they were trying to do it for a little while, just the Mike and Nina, and it's really really freaking hard,
Yeah.
and you need a team, and that team needs to be prepared to um, follow the guidelines, and I mean our team definitely is, and I know that a lot of folks in Plymouth, like a lot of restaurants are open, they're following the guidelines,
Yeah.
but it's still kind of freaky, like I have only gotten to go food like two times
Yeah.
this whole thing, just because I've been freaked out, and
Do you have a panic
I
attack?
did no, I just like, I don't really have I don't have those anymore. I don't know what it is, but I used to have those. I used to get like then I started taking high blood pressure medication.
Was it like propranolol?
No, starts with an L. I can't remember.
Losartan?
Losartan, yeah, yeah.
Because I know propranolol actually helps calm people's moods.
Oh, I probably need that too.
Yeah, and it's also a blood pressure med. It's a good one. Yeah.
But it's just still freaky that like I'm part of the machine, right? That has to make sure that the people can get food and they don't get sick,
Yeah.
and that we're all doing the right thing, um, to not put you guys into danger or people around us. Because at the end of the day, it's the hospitals that feel the biggest pressure out of all of this, right?
The only thing I can do is look out for me and people around myself. My whole theory during this is just do the best you can. That's all you can really do. And I mean, if you really take that to heart, like those people that go, that are creeping up on the guy in front of them in line, not wearing a mask, they're not doing the best they can. I'm just trying to live by that and then just not worry about other people because you really can't trust anybody else. You can
No,
only
and
trust yourself in what you do.
yeah, and I mean, in my opinion, social distancing eliminates the spread
Yeah, for sure.
and alleviates the stress on our medical system.
100%. 100%. But then it's just tough because you get people that like the little nanas and papas that they just don't get it. And I feel really, really bad for the girls in nursing homes, the workers. I had 3 COVID positive patients the other night, and it was just brutal. I was donning, doffing every 2 seconds. I literally went through a whole bag of the yellow gowns constantly. Still wearing the same N95 mask, which is crazy, but they have no clue. They have absolutely no clue because a lot of them have dementia or they just can't really fathom, the severity of it. So, you put a mask up. Okay, buddy, let's put the mask up. 2 seconds later, it's down. You put it up, it's down. It's up, it's down. They just don't know. And it's just so hard. So I know that I spoke with one of the girls from a nursing home around us, and this was literally a week and a half ago. And I just said, hey, what's it like? What are you guys dealing with? And she's like, we've got 16 positive and 5 nurses are positive. I'm like, that's crazy because this is a small nursing home. I'm like, that's just insane. So I
Well,
couldn't even imagine.
it's gonna wipe the whole place out.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, like the elderly are really, really they're the ones that I think that we're seeing the most of this, getting hit.
Um, well, I mean, your advice is really is social distance and wash your
Yeah,
hands and be smart.
exactly. Stay away from people. Stay in.
And it sucks,
I mean,
but if the longer we don't do it now, the longer we're gonna have to do it later. Is how I feel about it, probably.
that's exactly right. Like I don't know, you just gotta bite the bullet. And I mean, I'm not one of those people that are in the position like where I might lose my house, I might lose this, I lost my job. So I can't really fathom what they're going through. I feel bad, but it's almost like, it's like one of those things you gotta bite the bullet. It has to be done because it's only gonna get worse.
All right, off topic. Are you binge watching anything?
So did you see the series finale of Homeland last night?
Oh, I'm supposed to watch it. No, I have to watch the whole season. No, I didn't see it.
So now I can't talk about it.
Oh, I didn't
It
do
was
my homework. Oh,
so listen. It's actually really, really good. I'm
okay.
telling you, Twitter blew up. Everyone's like so satisfying. Like no
Oh,
series
really?
finale ever has a satisfying ending. It's really, really good. Yeah, really good. You
Oh.
feel great. You feel good at the end. You're like, oh, this is good. I just pray that there's a movie. I'm dying for a movie.
Oh, all right. So I'll start. Maybe I can get Sarah to binge watch that with me. This
Yeah,
we'll have to. I think I owe that. I have to make up last season too, so I have 2 seasons
yeah.
behind.
Last season was really good. I'm pretty. Yeah, last season was really good. Yeah. So
Um,
what have you been watching?
I just finished Ozark, like everybody else.
Well, I haven't. I only watched a couple episodes, and for some reason, it didn't. I'll revisit it, but it didn't totally bite me. So, did
I
you
mean,
love it?
it's slow going, but it's awesome. Yeah.
So tell me on what level it's on. Like
Uh,
Sopranos, Sons of Anarchy, which I haven't seen. That's one I really want to get into. I've heard really good things about it.
so like I want to compare it to The Wire as far as like the pace,
Ooh,
but
yeah,
like
the pace is slow for sure. The Wire is slow for
I mean
sure.
the first season of The Wire is super hard to watch, like wicked hard to
Right,
watch.
super hard to watch. Yeah,
But there's a lot of things going on in that. So there's not so many interweaving story plots that are going on in Ozark, but all the acting is spot on. And I'm
yeah,
trying to think
yeah.
of like I would say if you're compared to anything, kind of compare it to Breaking Bad,
Okay, yeah,
except
yep,
not as like Breaking Bad was got over the top at one point, and like I love that show. I think it's amazing. Every part of the thing I love about it,
yeah.
but it's definitely not like they get the last scene of the last episode in season 3 was Breaking Bad level, like
Really.
crazy. So yeah,
That's how I
I'd
feel
say
about Homeland. Homeland, I'm like, oh my god! Like I yell at my TV. I'm like, yeah, Getty! Ah! I'm like, I flip out.
it's so funny because when I have like a giant beard, Nina Peters always says I look like Saul.
Yeah, your beard is definitely reminiscent of Saul. I'm just realizing now too. You trimmed it down.
Yeah,
Oh my god,
she
it's like
went
totally on
clean.
point. Love
Yeah,
it.
especially when I have my glasses on, I look like Saul. So are you looking forward to anything in the next couple weeks, next month?
Let's see. I'm super bummed. Okay, so let's talk about this. I'm super bummed, super bummed that two concerts I've been really looking forward to are canceled. Well, one of them, which one might come back around? I had tickets to see the Dead Kennedys, and I had tickets to see MDC and GBH. They were playing together. So I want to say that one of them got canceled, and another one's going to be revisited. So I'm super bummed about that. So I just got to see when the date is going to be for the other one, and we'll see. But have you done like the streaming? I have no idea about it. Like when they're streaming concerts, is it something like you still have to pay for? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. No, most people are streaming for free. Like you can, like a lot of them will have like a charity they're donating to.
Yeah, because I know that they were saying, oh, we're not going to do the concert, but we're gonna play live. But I just didn't know if like, okay, then that's your concert ticket price.
Yeah, no, like the dude from Death Cab, Ben Gibbard, has been like playing shows from his living room. I've
Yeah,
seen a lot of musicians do that, and like a lot of local musicians I see doing that, like going live on Friday night at like 8 o'clock, and
yeah,
then they're like either some of the people are donating all the tips like they get through Venmo to their staff that they would have been playing for. Like if someone's going to play at Speedball Friday night, they'll do a show, and then all the tips will go to the Speedball staff.
yeah. That's great. Yeah,
Which is pretty awesome, and I think that in this time is like, we can't rely on our government to help us.
no,
So it's like we have everybody's helping each other out, and like I think that's pretty remarkable. And at the end of the
yeah.
day, hopefully that helps bring us together with something.
I know. Keep
Um,
some sort of semblance.
you
Hopefully,
know,
we'll see.
what is has anything good come out of this?
I mean, maybe a sense of community. I don't
Some
know.
and like I know you're not getting much rest, but I know like I'm sleeping like 8 hours a night, and again I'm
No,
like
I'm sleeping stupid amounts because there's nothing else to do.
no,
You know,
I'm going to bed at 10,
and
waking up at 6 like clockwork. It's amazing.
I know, isn't that crazy? And how much weight have you gained? I'm thrilled my jeans still fit. I just put them on for the first
Uh
time in a month.
so like I lost a bunch of weight when we first started this, but I was also like just coming off of running around like a maniac on my feet for 40 hours every single week, 40 plus,
Yeah,
and then, coming to this and like, now I'm not eating out every day now because I would also eat the restaurant every day. So like I started
yeah,
losing
yeah,
weight,
yeah.
and then I don't know, like I probably started to put it back on a little bit, but it's that's why I was out raking in the rain yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I've been pretty good. My friend Angie that I work with, she's like, "Let's go for a walk." I'm like, "Ugh, walk," but then I'm like thrilled. and we're 100% 6 feet apart because I mean we're just hyper vigilant about it. But we went to a different park. I know that they just made a rule in Braintree where I live that you have to wear a mask outside, which I think is actually kind of great because I'll tell you, a lot of people, they just don't know. They're not used to, working in the healthcare field. I still make mistakes, and I do it all the time. Like I don and doff, wear PPE. I'm in sterile environments, and I can still make mistakes. Everyone does. But the people that are just learning this now, I mean, they have no clue. So they really don't know. So I think it's kind of good though if they're saying still wear a mask, making them. But even that, no one's doing it.
Well, I read this article about how if you're running, you can leave a 30-foot vapor trail behind you.
Interesting. See, yeah, I had not heard that. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, because like you're moving quickly, right? So you're breathing and then that lingers until it dissipates, right? So they're saying 30 feet if you're a runner.
Yeah. So total quick side note, you said if it lingers, how did Dolores die from cranberries?
I don't know.
Have to let it linger. We literally just talked about this with one of the doctors last night. For some odd reason, we started singing that song, and he's like, "Yeah, how did she die?" And I'm like, "I can't remember."
Oh yeah, I don't know. I think we have to look that up later.
It's like ADD trivia. I'm sorry.
Well, Sue, thank you for coming on Coffee Time this morning.
This is great. Amazing. I'll be back hopefully.
Oh yeah. You can come back whenever you want. I love it. When's your next shift?
Tomorrow night.
All right. Well, maybe we could figure out a way to send you guys some food tomorrow night.
Yeah. Oh, you guys could do a drive-by. We had a drive-by train. It was the best thing on earth. We had I think look up all things Plymouth, all things local for Plymouth. They did the firefighters and everyone came by. It was just epic. I actually wasn't able to attend that time, but one night I'm literally working, it's midnight, and like 5 or 6 cars come by, and I was out in the tent and I hear some lady beeping. I'm like, what the hell is she doing? Then I'm like, oh my God, they're like bringing us a drive-by to say thank you. That was just fantastic.
What time do you work tomorrow?
7 p to 7 a.
All right. What do you guys like? What's your favorite food over there?
Dude, anything. You don't have to worry about it though, Chris. I feel bad.
Oh,
I know that you're out too. So
hey, this is the new life, dude. We're just gotta get used to it. And like, the next year and a half is probably pretty uncertain for a lot of us. And
yeah.
I know the show's keeping me sane. So I mean I'm already insane. So
it's great though. I love it. It's awesome. Good for you.
But I mean, hopefully we get back to it, and someday we will be doing shots again very soon.
Yes, green tea shots.
Oh yeah, I'll make a special one for you.
Those are my favorite. Oh yeah, anytime.
All right, Sue, awesome. Thank you so much. Just stay on the line there until I wrap this, and then we'll be done. Just give me a second.
We'll do. Perfect.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to Coffee Time with Almeida. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and we have a very special guest coming to you. I don't have it in front of me, and I'm embarrassed right now. Hang on, let me look at my Facebook here. I don't know. It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. Actually, not really that long of a day. How can I possibly forget Jake Hill? Jake Hill's coming at us tomorrow. He is a local musician. He is a chef. He is a baker. He is a songwriter. He's one of my favorite music folks here in this town of Plymouth, and he'll be coming on tomorrow, and we're just gonna be talking about fun stuff. And we have a definitely cool week planned out for you this week. And like my page on Facebook, Almeidathon, and follow us on Instagram, also Almeidathon. And now I leave you with the comic genius of Josh Bell.
Good morning, children. How's everyone doing today?
I want pancakes.
How lovely to see you, Forrest. How is everyone else?
I'd like syrup on my pancakes, please.
Syrup, yes. Can somebody get Forrest his pancakes?
I'd like strawberries with my pancakes.
Yes, Forrest, we're on it. Class?
Mama usually has milk with her pancakes.
Forrest? Shh.
Mama's milk usually tasted like chocolate.
Coffee time with Almeida. Every weekday at 9. Won't you join me for a really fun time?